In this podcast episode, we're going to talk about how to properly answer the phone in your business. It sounds very simple, but let me tell you, a lot of businesses get this wrong. So stay tuned. And welcome back to another podcast episode. Here, we're going to talk about how to answer the phone in your business. I know it sounds pretty straightforward, but you would be surprised on how many businesses get this wrong. I mean, how many times have you called a business, whatever business it is, whether it's a big business like a mall, a restaurant, to somewhere a small mom and pop barbershop or hair salon or dentist office, right? So in all levels of this of a business, people get answering the phone wrong, right? As soon as you call someone like a business and they have the wrong attitude, you can immediately tell that they're not energetic, that they don't care about who they're talking to, that they don't really want to, help the person on the phone. We've all gone through this. So in this episode, we'll talk about how to answer the phone to give a better first impression to your potential customer. Because remember, when someone calls you, that is their absolute first impression of your business, of do I want to do business with this person, with this establishment? Are they going to help me solve my problem? Am I going to have the confidence in order for me to trust them with my vehicle, to pay them X amount of money, to, you know, for them to be the guy or gal that I want them to work on my vehicle. So very, very important to understand how to properly answer the phone. That way you put the most, put the highest odds in your favor of booking the customer. Because there's a thing that they say is you can hear your attitude over the phone. Meaning, yes, you're not seeing them in person. They don't know the smirks. They don't know, they don't see you physically. But man, when you answer the phone with the wrong tone, people can hear your attitude over the phone. So we'll cover that in this video. Now, the main thing there's going to be several ways that you can look at this, but basically when you're answering the phone, right, you need the potential customer to understand or to believe that you are there to help them out, that you are there to answer whatever questions, whatever problems, um, whatever thing that they need answered in order to feel most comfortable trusting you with their vehicle. That's what you need to do, right? So when you answer the phone, right, and I literally call businesses, or when you call a business, just pay attention to how they answer the phone and see if this is true. But when you call a business, right, what kind of attitude or what type of, is it a good first impression? Okay. So if you call a business, and the type of how they answer the phone is going to depend on several things. But for instance, like if it is a bigger business that you have to dial a specific number to get to a certain department, that in itself is going to be different versus just calling a, hair salon or something. So there will be inherent differences between businesses. But nonetheless, when you pick up a call, right, make sure that you make the customer believe that you care about what they have to say, right? And it sounds kind of like it's a lot of the stuff's gonna be very basic, but man, you do not understand, like, a lot of businesses get this part wrong. So typically commonly when you call a business, let's say the business is zebra detailing, right? I've been using that example for like years now. Zebra detailing. So if there's a real zebra detailing out there, my apologies. But you call the phone, right? One, it's gonna ring like 6, 7, 8 times. I don't know how many rings it is before it hangs up, but it's gonna be more than like 5, 6, 7 times. So that already is not a red flag, but it's like people want answers now. They want communication now. They want their attention now. So if you can pick up a call in the first 2 to 3 rings versus the fifth to seventh ring, that's a lot better, right? As soon as you call, ring, ring, hello, right? It's much, much, much better, much more attentive, much more impactful versus like you have the person on there for 5, 6, 7 rings and they're like, okay, I guess we're not gonna pick up. All right, I'll get somebody go to voicemail. Okay, I'm not gonna get my question answered. So answering in the first 1 to 3 rings versus the fifth to seventh ring, it's much, much, much more impactful. So that's your first note: is pick up within the first 1 to 3 rings. And yes, it's pretty difficult to do that when you're out in the field, when it's just you, when when you just can't do it. And most of us are gonna fall into that camp. You don't have a dedicated CSR, a customer service rep. You don't have someone dedicated to just answering the phone. You have to wait to the end of the day to get back to everyone. Even if you do answer out in the field, it's loud. Generators are running. Machines are running. So it's just not ideal or that possible to pick up the call in the field. Like I understand. So when I'm telling you this, like it's gonna be like a progressive thing that you have to get into, and you have to find ways to adapt the advice to your situation, because like I said, like of course if you're just by yourself and you're always working in the field, it's gonna be nearly impossible to answer every single call when a call comes in the field. It's just that's the nature of the business. But you can't just always you have to develop some type of system to where that it's just you just don't make that an excuse every single time for however long when you're missing all these calls. Now, when you answer, a lot of times it'll be something like this: ring, 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 right? And it's like zebra. The business answers zebra detailing, right? Just that, just zebra detailing, just a business name, right? Zebra detailing, and it's like that's it. Like no context. Am I just supposed to know what I'm supposed to say now? Is like it's just such a like a bland, no energy, no helpfulness, no just like zebra detailing. It's like, oh, am I supposed to know what's happening now, right? So when someone calls you, you have to take them the entire way, as far as like, imagine you're walking into a restaurant, into a mall, right? And you don't know anyone there, you don't know the menu, you don't know the seating, you don't know anything, right? So it's the same as someone walking into a restaurant and saying, and them saying, "Welcome to Denny's," right? And that's it. Like the waitress just comes by you, says, "Welcome to Denny's," and just walks past you. They don't say, they don't ask you, "Is it just for one person? For two people? Is it for? Do you want outside or inside? Do you want a booth or a table? Do you want to? It might be a 10-minute wait. It might be a 25-minute wait. Like they're giving you no context. It's literally just saying zebra detailing, right? So that already is already like okay. So at a minimum, having the same example of someone walks into a restaurant, have the same type of premise when you're working when you're answering the phone. Take them through every step of the journey, right? And it's gonna sound it sounds more complicated actually than what it is, but it's really simple. So when you answer, it could be as simple as, "This is your name, so this is Oscar with Zebra Detailing. How can I help you?" Right? So simple, so basic, so straightforward. But it's these small things where it's like, it's so basic, it's so simple, yet so many businesses miss this. So literally, this is Oscar with Zebra Detailing. How can I help you? As straightforward that it could be, right? I mean, even at the different barbershops that I've been to, when they answer the phone, right, they're cutting hair, they get a phone call, and they'll literally just be like, Zebra Barbershop, and it's like, dude, can you not like add a bit more context to who they're calling, who they're talking to? Like, can you help them out a bit more than just saying Zebra Barbershop, right? Obviously, it's not Zebra Barbershop. I'm just making up that name. But I mean, the barbershops that I've been to, it's that same way too, and it's like that's the whole point of customer service, right? Like, it doesn't matter if that's the first time or 10th time calling. It doesn't matter if you have an app where they can like schedule your bookings or not. It's like they're calling you, they want to talk to a human, like help them through that process to get a better understanding of what you do, or what you need them to do, or how to schedule, or the pricing, the details of the service. Like, this is what customer service is. Now, if you can't get to the if you can't get to the phone call, right, which a lot of us are going to fall into that camp, the next thing that you can do is change your voicemail to be more impactful. So right now, if you have like, I actually don't know that many, what's the typical voicemail that people have. But for us, what we do, since we can't answer the phone in the field, what we do is our voicemail says, "Hey, this is, Oscar with Zebra Detailing. Um, we couldn't pick up the phone call right now, but if you'd like, you can send me a text, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can," or something like that. I forget the exact voicemail, but basically it's saying, "Hey, sorry we couldn't pick up the call. We're probably out working in the field. You can send me a text and I'll get back to you ASAP, right? That's essentially what it says. Obviously, the wording will be different, but that's essentially what it means. That way, when they hear the voice note, they're like, oh, okay, they're busy, so I could just text them then. Because one, a lot of people might think that the phone that you have is going to be like a landline, meaning it can't receive text messages. So if you just clarify and say, hey, this is, you can text me to this number. They're like, oh snap, okay, I'll just text it. I'll just text this person. I'll just text the business, right? So that's one way, and that works out effectively. Actually, like people actually reply or not reply, but they send us a text message saying, hey, I just called. I have a yada yada yada. Here are the details, right? So that's one way, right? Another way is that if you're getting a phone call and you have your voicemail set up, right? But regardless, you can text back immediately saying, hey, my apologies for missing the phone call. We're out in the field and there's a lot of noise. How can I help you? Right? Instead of having the communication, the conversation through phone, just move it to text, right? I see some people have a problem with communicating via text. We don't. We talk to a lot of customers via text. We talk to a lot of customers, book them in, get payment without ever talking to them on the phone or seeing them in person. So for us, it's not a big deal. But that's another thing. If you get a phone call and you see it coming in, you're like, I would want to answer, but it's too loud, or whatever the case may be. Just reply to that number saying, hey, this is Oscar with Zebra Detailing. Sorry I missed your call. We're out in the field. There's a lot of noise going on right now. What's the year, make, and model of your vehicle, and what services are you interested in, right? And that message that we send, it's just a copy and paste from a template that we use in our phone, right? Because we're going to keep on using that over and over. Like, we don't change anything. It's literally just copy, paste, copy the message from our notes or whatever, paste it into the message and send, right? Like that, it's literally just a template 99% of the time, because we just want to see if they need any information, or if they want to continue the conversation over text. We can do that. So that's another way. So either pick up the call when they call. It's either create a voice note, that way they know they can text you, or as soon as you can, send a message saying, hey, sorry for missing your call. We can talk through text. So that's another way that you can do it, but don't just not do anything, right? Don't just let every phone call go to voicemail and not take any action, or not try to, better your process of, being able to answer the phone. This is the first impression that you have with the potential customer. This is how, they're going to say, hey, was this person, did, basically think about, like, every time you have an interaction with your customer, right? Every time, or potential, anyone, every single time you have an interaction with a potential customer, the needle either moves more towards, I want to hire this person, or it moves towards, I don't want to hire this person. Every single interaction, right? So that means if they land on your website, if they land on your Instagram account, if they give you a call, if they give you a text, if they talk to you on the phone, if they, whatever it is, every interaction says, does this make you want to hire their person, or does this make you want to not hire this person, right? So obviously you want things to go more, oh, okay, that was good. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was good. You know what? I'm going to hire this person. Versus saying, they call you, or they might go on your website and like, okay, this person looks like they do a good job, right? So the one point to you to the right, saying, okay, this person does a good job. Let me give them a call. And then they call you and you don't answer. And even that, it's like it's a neutral one. So they're like, okay, not a big deal. And then they call you later on, 3 hours later, and you don't pick up again. It's like, okay, I don't like that, right? It goes back to being at zero. And then let's say you email them, or they email you or text you, and they don't get a reply for the next, 2 hours. It's like, okay, I don't like this anymore. And then, they call one more time because they're like, okay, it's the end of the day. It's 5:30. Let me call them one more time. Boom, you don't answer. It goes back to negative again. And then you just keep on pushing them further and further away. So think about it with every interaction that you have with the customer. It's either moves them to it moves them to, I want to hire this person, I want to hire this detailer, or it goes to, I don't want to hire this detailer. Every single interaction, online or in person, do I want to hire this detailer, or do I not want to hire this detailer? So I'll end this episode right here. Hopefully you really take action on this, because I'm telling you, it's a big deal. This will dramatically impact your business. I understand if you're only getting 1 or 2 calls per week, it's like, oh, well, I don't get that many calls anyways. But even so, start now. That way, when you do start getting more and more calls, you have the system in place to say, hey, you know what? When, I'm talking to the customer correctly. Even if you get one call a day, one call a week, it's like this is just a baseline foundation, bare essential that you need to have in your business to just stand apart from everyone else. I'm telling you, like there's a lot of businesses that don't do this well, that don't call the customer back, that don't like text the customer back, that don't have good customer service, that don't have good talking skills. As simple as it is, this in itself can separate you from everyone else. Like it's literally that simple. So I'll end this episode right here. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can check the show notes, the video description down below for the ultimate guide to start your detailing business, or anything else that I have will be down below. And if you're watching this or listening to this on the podcast, then you can also just check the show notes and I'll have everything linked down there as well. Thank you very much for spending another episode with me, and I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye bye.